Toteia wuta. Nia toia sateia wuta seteia. Welcome. Welcome to our shamanic session. I'm going to speak on spirit guides and power animals. And today we're not doing any journey. For this video, we're not going to do any journeying. I'm just going to speak on it. And we're going to start with the power animals, because that's when we get introduced into traditional shamanism, sort of in a broader version of the whole idea, we go on a drum journey. So take our drum. And with a steady beat of the drum, we go down. This is all, in some ways we could call it a fantasy, but it's not. It becomes a very real experience. But we find our axis mundi, which is the center of the world, center of your world, center of my world. I know there's a lake that I'm completely in love with called McCloud Lake up in Mammoth Lakes in the mountains up there, Eastern Sierras. And that's the lake. It's my soul lives right there. I love it. So for me, when I am supposed to go in on a journey, I go down, I go up to, with my mind, I go to the lake. In the corner of that lake, I find a hole into the underworld, basically created. And then I crawl into this tunnel. There's a tunnel right there. And it's a tunnel down to the underworld. And when we go into that tunnel, we start to feel what the walls feel like. If there's water on the ground, is it sand we're walking on? Are we walking on rock? What are we walking on? What does it look like? Are there any animals that show up for you in this tunnel? I took somebody on a journey the other day, and a little bird showed him the way down the tunnel. So we go down this tunnel, and we come out to the other end. And the other end of the tunnel, we see light, and we come out into the underworld. Now, the underworld in Christian tradition has become hell, right? In shamanic traditions, and not all of them. I don't want to say that it's all the same, but in the ones I have learned from, we come out into the underworld. And the underworld opens up as a world of your maybe choosing or whatever you see, right? So it could be underwater, it could be up in the mountains, it could be open fields with forests and with fields of like grass and flowers and everything, right? But it most often doesn't contain any regular civilization. It's mostly nature that you come into. And you walk down a path, and on that path you're supposed to pay attention to the grass, what it feels like, what it smells like. Is the sky blue, or is the sun up? Are there trees all over the place? What is going on here? You're paying attention to that world. And when you come in, you walk down a path, and then you come to an opening, a meadow. And you sit down in that meadow. And when you sit there, you're going to pay attention to what animal shows up for you. And often, there's going to be an animal that comes up to you, and it will be your power animal. In my case, I was connected to wolves as long as I remember. And that and Native Americans. And when I was a kid, I had a magical experience with some wolves that weren't in our reality. They were in my reality, but they weren't in our reality. And I ran on some rocks, some cliffs with this whole pack of wolves. And it was a very remarkable experience. It felt extremely real, even if somewhere I knew it wasn't real in regular reality. And then I had wolves following me along my life. I met real wolves. I had a lot of connections to them. And then when I was about 26, 28, my vibration shifted. And I went down a path of much lower vibration. And I started doing a job that wasn't really for me. I got into relationships that weren't really for me. And my whole energy shifted, and I left the wolf behind. I left power animals behind. And it took me almost 20 years to come back. And so then when I did my totem animal, power animal journey, I went down the tunnel, came into the woods and came into that meadow, and I sat down and I enjoyed life. And suddenly a wolf shows up and just comes up to me and starts licking my face and starts hanging out, and it's so much in love, and I am so much in love with it. And it turns out it's a female wolf named Maya, and for me it was like a part of my soul came back. It's a beautiful reunion, and it was very, very powerful. And then it felt like the wolf crawled into my heart and just lay down in my heart. And then when I came back to ordinary reality out of the journey, I could feel different in my heart. And then I felt like I was visiting with this wolf every day. And over time, there was another power animal that showed up for me on one of those journeys, and it was a dragon. And this dragon was very powerful. It's a very big, powerful dragon. So these are ways that we connect with our power animals. And you can do this. You can find a drumming here on YouTube. There's shamanic drumming, and then you can choose 15 or 30 minutes. And you go down on your journey. You sit down and you meet your power animal. I'm going to do one of these videos as well, where you can follow me along. I'll guide you through it. But if you want to do it on your own, go ahead. It's a beautiful connection. You know, and as I have evolved on my journey, I have gotten deeper into different sort of medicine. I've also gotten introduced to my spirit guides. And that getting introduced to the spirit guides was also a very, very, very big experience, where at first it's a little like, am I still sane? Am I hearing voices? What's going on here? And as the voice came through and clearly was not me speaking, it was very clear that I wasn't going insane and that the voice was making a lot of sense. And it was a spirit guide. And it was my spirit guide. And as that spirit guide came through, over the journeys that I've been doing, and as I've gotten deeper into my spiritual path and into the journeys I've been doing, I have had very, very deep experiences where I have become my power animals. I become them, they become me. And the same thing goes for the spirit guide. The spirit guide has entered into my energy system, and it has shifted my whole energy system. And now in my healing ceremonies and throughout my day, I'm able to speak a different language that I don't quite understand. And I'm also able to sit in a different frequency. And this different frequency can speak to other people's energetic guides and speak for them. I help them in their life's journey to get more luck on their side, basically. But it's not luck, but it's still, that's what it could seem like. So this is deep spiritual work. I know for a Western mindset, all this stuff is very hard to digest, and it's hard to accept as some sort of reality. But if you go down this path, if you are on the path, and if you're moving towards it, you will see that all this is extremely real and extremely beautiful. And it's what we've been lacking in our world. It's what we're lacking in our Western society that has been very, very square and very, very mathematical and very, very logical, and not enough healing and emotional. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope this was some kind of clarification around power animals and spirit guides. I'm sure there'll be more videos around this stuff. Have a beautiful, wonderful day. Namaste and aho.